Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our wonderful slideshow. We will try to be like the Baptist preacher before you very shortly, not before you long. So we will give you an insight on what home care and what it is and how you can utilize it. So you have to take a break and hit click. As you met, that's Becca right over there on the top. Becca is a CSA member and also one of the few people you know that are owners and really hands-on. And there's Terry, she does all the supervising for our staff and going out and doing all the visits. And that beautiful thing over to the right is me. And then we have Julie, who is our code compliant or make sure we do everything that the state tells us to do so we don't get in trouble. And that handsome man in the middle is make sure we do what we're supposed to do and have our papers in order. And we are one of the few home care companies that has a nurse on staff. So as you are aging in place or you need maybe some med reminders, or maybe you have someone that's need a few more a little more help in the medical spot, we have an awesome nurse. She's very neat, and I think you would love her. And she has a very neat name. Her name is Simi, which I think is really neat. That's our team. Well, I think Zoe touched on this before, how we're so much more than just coming out and helping with just memory loss issues. We're companionship services where you just need somebody, so you just don't want to be in the house by yourself, or maybe you want someone to go and hang out with you and go play cards or just kind of hang out. We're companionship. We do personal assistance services, which is helping you with all your personal care needs. But we are very, very much so strong on the Alzheimer's and dementia. Our staff is very trained in that. We do short-term recovery. So if you have knee replacement, hip replacement, need to go get your toe fixed or anything like that, and you can't do all the good stuff you normally do at home, that's what we would come in at. And we also do respite services. And some people would think you would have to go somewhere to get that done. We come to your home. So if you're visiting with family and they need to go and be somewhere, we can come in and kind of step in for that. And the fun part is that we're travel companions. So you get to, whenever this COVID stuff is over, and you get to have fun and go travel with Zoe and all those guys. If you need someone to go with you for assistance of any needs, we can do that, and family outings and all that good stuff. We can even go to the casinos and drop some quarters if you want. Oh, what? So what are you doing over there?
I don't know. I got excited. I wanted to talk and I hit the space bar and it just went away.
I said casino and you just started hitting buttons.
I did hit stuff. That's right. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry.
So that's okay. So the companion part of it is just what it says. If you want someone just to hang out with you or just kind of be there with you because you just kind of need some company, we can come do that. And we also take care of those little pets too. We have caregivers that are animal happy like I am, can come and take them for walks and take care of them while you're recuperating from whatever. So we love being able to do that. We also do things that we help with the dementia part of it, the Alzheimer's part of it, helping you just go back down memory lane if you want and gather up some stuff, maybe make some photo albums for you and all that good stuff. So, and we have a lot of games and activities that our caregivers do with you also to help with that memory issues and things like that. And we encourage taking you out. Don't let COVID stop your 2 or 3 friends that can come over, because we can gather in a group of 9. So if you want to go and gather and have coffee and all that good stuff, we can join you or take you. Our caregivers can also drive you where you need to go.
And one thing I do want to add to this too is and I don't call if they talk about it later, but their services are very safe. I know that it's an outside agency coming into your home, but they're extremely safe and they are taking all the necessary precautions.
And not only that, to touch on that being safe, we are insured and we're bonded. So that's another comfort level for a lot of people too. So let's see here. We talked about all the outings and all that stuff, but we can take you to your doc's appointments and take you wherever you need to go in your vehicle or the caregiver's vehicle. And we can also help with this Zoom thing, but looks like you guys have got this down. Man, I'm impressed. So if you need any help doing any kind of other technology things, I won't come, that's for sure, but other people can come. We can help go shopping if you want to hit that North Park, even if it's just a grocery store or pick up meds or things like that. So if you want to utilize us in that way, you can use us that too.
I do have a question that came through. So this is in response to help being home after surgery. Okay. Are your home care services covered by Medicare?
No, we
Okay.
are a private company, private pay company with long-term insurance, but we also take VA also.
All
Hopefully that
right.
answered.
That sure does. That sure does. So, and to go along further on that, just to response with that. So, post surgery, sometimes they will have a medical home health company come in, but that is strictly rehab services
Mhm.
and nurses visits. So those services are covered. But if you're looking for someone to assist with your activities of daily living, which is what it's called, then that would be your non-medical company, and that is not covered. So Christine Taylor did ask, we're getting questions. I'm just going to bust
I'm
in with
loving it.
question.
I'm loving it. Pop them
Uh,
in.
so what is your service area?
Well, we service all in North, Plano, Allen, McKinney, Frisco. Where else is out that way? North of us, north of Dallas. So up and down Preston, back over in Frisco area, Richardson, Allen, McKinney, anything in between.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to kind of bust through real quick with something. Rosa, I do not see anyone waiting in the waiting room for the Zoom, just so you know. Okay, another question. So Pat Stevens is asking, what is the minimum of hours that you can do, and what is the maximum of hours that you can do?
Well, our minimum would be 4 hours. And our maximum is 24 hours. If you need someone there with you 24 hours, we have 24-hour care also. So you can
Perfect.
go from little bit to a whole bunch.
Awesome. All right. I think that hits that. Are we ready for our next slide?
We's ready.
Right.
Ooh, this is my favorite because I love to cook and clean. So our caregivers can do a little prep for food prepping. And I think this is great. And I love this part because you can have someone in to prep your meal for the next day. So if you choose a 4 hour, 6 hour, and that's in between a mealtime, they can prep your meals so you'll have your breakfast ready for you or your lunch ready for you and things like that. So I think that's so awesome. I love that part because a lot of times we just forget to eat or we just standing up is an issue or especially if you had knee surgery or your back or things of that nature, you can always have those meals prepped for you. So our caregivers can do a little cleaning and switching out the sheets and making your house comfortable. And I'm sure you guys can read all that, but especially if you have some type of um, nutrition that the doctor don't want you to have so much of this or they're kind of monitoring your intake on this, and this is a good thing to have, and especially if you need it to be documented for the doctor for your next doctor visit or your family or yourself, how much salt you eat or if you eat enough protein or things like that. So this really comes in handy for that also.
All right. Fantastic. Let's move on.
Though I love watching you be three people, it's hilarious.
Right.
Our second family caregivers are our caregivers. You don't get a strange person knocking on your door every day. You don't get some person you've never seen before just because they have a badge and this is where they're supposed to be. I'm not going to read all that for you because I'm sure everyone on here can read, but I can tell you that it's comforting because when you are in whatever distress or anytime you think you're going to need someone like this, you want a person who has been there, who knows you, who knows your home, and who knows what they are to do when they get there and not brand new every time they walk in the door. So that's really nice to know. And they have training on hand for them at all times. It's not something they're trained and then they never can go back to it. It's accessible to them all the time so they can train at any given time. And that's a really neat thing to know. But and also they are trained, a lot of them are Alzheimer's and dementia, that is their thing. So not to say that they don't have other things, but that is their specialty. So if you want someone that, specializes in that, and that's kind of what your need is, we definitely have someone for that. So, and we do a serious background check, and I'm going to kudos to Becca for this. I think she kind of went over and beyond for this. We do the background check that they offer here in the state, but Becca kind of does a national one. So you know that your caregiver has been suited and booted, as my grandpa would say. So you know you're getting someone that has been really investigated. So
That's
that's
above and
comforting.
beyond what the mandate is, correct? Isn't it just, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're correct. I'm frozen, but I don't know why, but
You're
oh,
frozen,
there
but
I
I
am.
can hear you.
Okay, well, okay, that's all that matters.
All right. So yeah, like we were saying, is this state regs are just state checks. Nationwide is
Correct.
something that's added on top. So that's fantastic that you guys go that extensive. All right, let me click this on. There we go.
Ooh, yay, my favorite. Um, don't turn down and don't look away for any of these trips that I know are coming, right, Zoe?
That's right.
Don't say no. Never say no to a trip. So our caregivers can go with you on these trips and help you when you need some of your ADLs. And sometimes we need someone to help us along the way, and we can go do that. We can, even though Zoe, they go over and beyond with the check-in and all that stuff. But when you need someone for your personal needs, someone to assist you, you can not miss out on trips because you got a bum knee, or you cannot take your loved one because they need a little more assistance. So you don't have to say no and think you can't go because you need someone to help you with your ADLs. We'll go right along with you and we'll love the ride. And I know Zoe and we're looking forward to getting out of this place. So we're definitely ready to take a trip.
Right, right. So Serena brings up a really good point. So the great thing about their travel companion care is if you've ever traveling with Celebration Senior Travel, and a lot of you heard about our Alaska trip that we're taking in May, but we are there and we are there to assist you every step of the way with any challenges, complaints, something's not right with your room, your toilet's backed up. But right, and we're there to assist with the check-in process, and we schlep your luggage for you. I mean, it's fantastic. You get some good physical labor out of us. However, we are not legally allowed to provide any personal physical assistance to our travelers. Okay. So while we can help arrange for a electric scooter, we can help arrange for a rental rolling walker on the ship. We're able to help arrange for all of those things. But if there's anything that you would need assistance with beyond that, as far as transfers or anything along that lines, we can't help you with that. So that's where Second Family Home Care is really going to be able to help you out because they can provide those services. Perfect example, I had a woman call here once and she wanted to go on one of the cruises and she really wanted to go on the beach. Okay. But she was would have been in a scooter and would not have been able to do that herself. Just wanted to put her toes in the sand. And while I would have loved to be able to help make that happen for her, I could not because of our licensure. We're not licensed to assist people in that level. So that's where their travel companion care would really come in handy. So there you go. All right. You ready for the next
Good to
slide?
know. I think so.
All right. Let's do this.
Oh, there we go. So I am going to leave it open for any questions about anything. I do want to touch on the caregiving aspect of it about our caregivers. I would like to say that they like what they do. They're in this because they enjoy it, and they don't want to let anyone feel like they're being, babysat. They're there to assist. They're there to help you enjoy the best part of your life. And so going on trips and not missing out on all the fun stuff is what we're here for.
Fantastic. I would agree that one of the biggest things that I try to help people understand about home care is, like I said before, it's not just when you're sick, especially now with the pandemic and people being isolated the way that they are. Sometimes it's great just to have somebody come, a companion come and be there and, do some of those things, cook with you, have coffee, spend some time in the day together. So I do. Okay. So Jeanette would like to know, what are your rates? Do you want to share that? Or I only don't know. I never know what to do when people ask things like that.
So you can do what I do. I refer them to Becca.
Well, it depends too on kind of what services you're needing. It goes anywhere from $22 an hour. It's live-in rates are dependent on what kind of care is needed on a day-to-day basis. But I did want to kind of touch on something. Somebody had asked the question whether Medicare paid for the services, and there starting to be some Medicare Advantage programs, like through United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, or whatever, where they're managing the whole Medicare thing. They're starting to write some coverage for home care. I haven't seen it yet, but it's coming, and it's actually been out for a year or so. It's just not all of the carriers are, grabbing onto it. But I heard in 21 it's supposed to be. If you have the Advantage C, that's the only one that would add it to it, would pay for it. So just wanted to pop that in there.
So what I'm going to tell everyone to do is I'm going to tell you to join the Blue Cross Blue Shield presentation tomorrow at 11, because she's going to be talking about the 2021 Medicare changes and things. And that would be a great question to ask her to see if that's an offering that they would have. So that's my suggestion. And she should be able to fill in on that. She's Medicare certified, so she knows the whole gamut of information. Pat Stevens
Let me throw in about how you would find out exactly what your needs are. Mm-hmm. When you call up to the office and you're ready to have someone come out for some services, mm-hmm. you will get Becca or Terry, and mm-hmm. they will come out and they will sit with you and they will go over what your needs are. Because sometimes, we assume we need someone for this, but then we get there and you're like, oh, well, you can do that too? Well, hold on. Then can you, and then it becomes more of a personalized thing. It's not you get online and they say, okay, you need someone to clean your house, walk your dog, feed your fish. That'll be X amount of dollars. Right. So you get a personal assessment, and then they partner you with someone who is a good fit for you. And sometimes it works out perfectly, and sometimes you got to go through another caregiver because everyone's different. Right. But you get your own personal person, and that to me makes it. To have went through this with my dad, I'm telling you, knowing who's coming to that door, knowing who's going to come in his house, knowing that they're going to send the person that knows my dad and knows what the deal is, makes all the difference in the world.
Yep. So I think you kind of just answered a question that came up in chat, and that was, would you see the same person consistently, or would it be different people?
Right. Yeah. And the only time and Becca can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only time you would get a different person is your caregiver had an emergency, or your caregiver had already scheduled to be on vacation, or whatever the case may be. But your caregiver is your caregiver. And that's why I would gather to say it's called second family, because it's someone who's going to become a part of your family and a part of the structure in your family. So
wonderful. Awesome. All right. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any questions. I'll give them a minute. Becca, Serena, is there anything either of you would like to add before we say goodbye to our Facebook friends?
Well, the only thing that I might add is that our goal is always to have consistency in care. So especially if a person has dementia, I think that's one of the things I think we do really well, is that going out and meeting the person that needs the care, and then coming back. We have 64 caregivers. So after meeting that person and understanding their personality and, what's their trigger, they like or don't like, then that gives us just a really good feel to come back and figure out who's the best, most qualified, and the best match. I think that's something we do really well, is matching the caregiver with the client. And we hit it probably about 95% of the time. It's a match to go. So
perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That's like, I mean, wouldn't want to put Serena or I with someone who wouldn't talk to us, because we're talkers. So
no, you don't want to do that. Not at all.
We do have a question. Is it possible to get someone to help with with housework if you have disabilities? And then they also asked again about the service area.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. It's we still have it's still the hourly rate. We could do the light housekeeping. I tell people we don't go down and scrub baseboards or, clean out your garage or anything.
No windows.
Right. So, but, any sweeping and mopping, vacuuming, dusting, clean the bathroom, wipe down the kitchen, cabinet, counters and everything. So it's kind of the disability part of it comes into play with us with all sorts of different clients that we have. So we don't take Medicaid, and I know that I get that question asked a lot. So just throw that out there. And then the service area, like Serena said, we're our office is in Plano, but we have clients as far down as we have South Dallas. So we don't go to Denton, but we'll go to Denton County, the edge of Frisco. So I'm not a franchise, so I don't have a territory that I have to stick to.
So basically, if you've got somebody that's in the area or willing to travel to that area, you can cover that area.
Right. Exactly.
All right. We did have someone ask about how you charge for the trip companions, for example, on the upcoming Alaska cruise that we're doing.
Yeah, it would depend again on the needs, the service needs, but the person we're helping would pick up the caregivers, all their expenses, obviously. And then we'd have our regular, we call it a live-in rate. Live-in rate depending on what the needs are, depending on how much help is needed. And something we've touched on with a couple of people is maybe even, so you don't need somebody full-time, but you have another friend that wants to go but needs help too, and then so the one caregiver can split and help both of you, and you can split the cost that way too. But just call the office if you're want to get a little bit more details about what services, what kind of needs you're going to have, and we'll be happy to visit with you about that.
Perfect. Now I want to be able to share this. If you have any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I think for now, we're going to say our adieus to Facebook. All of our people out in Facebook land, we will be hosting events tomorrow at 11. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield coming in to speak. Then we have the classic movie quotes game tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. And then Thursday, we have our virtual pet parade and tour of the mansions of Wiley, where they are giving away $300 worth of e-gift cards. So if you have not signed up for that event, you can go over to celebrationmagazine.com. All my people in my room, in my Zoom with us, please hang around. If there's any more questions that come up, we will address those. And we got some fun giveaways from our friends at Second Family Home Care. So bye, Facebook. Thanks for joining us.